as human beings, we have tremendous potential. Absolutely true. We can achieve whatever we want in life. If you have strong desire to bring in, to manifest whatever you want in life, it will definitely come to you. There is no doubt about it. Because once you are in the flow of happiness, the flow, the stream of action, everything flows to you effortlessly. And as I always say, our default state is happiness. We are born to be happy and we are supposed to live happily. Happily ever after, yes, happily ever after. But why it is not happening? Why we guys are not happy? We are always getting into kind of distress, sorrow, sadness, aloof, gloomy, you name it, that is our default state, unfortunately. Sometimes you get happy, sometimes you are happy, we get a kind of a hedonic happiness it is called, because happiness comes and goes. If you achieve something materially, some material possession can bring you happiness, some moments of relationships can bring you into happiness, some achievements in career or studies can bring you happiness. But this is not continuing, this is hedonic or this is transient, this comes and goes. That is not what we want. We want to go beyond this. We want to go beyond the average to regain the state of happiness, to regain the flow of happiness, to get into the default state of happiness. So for that, you have to get into the path. And in the path, there is no effort in action. Actions are done effortlessly and there are no obstacles. What stops us from being in the flow of happiness is a one-letter word called I. The most selfish word I have ever encountered is I. So why this is happening? Why we say I? Whenever we say I, unfortunately, we don't mean our true self. We mean our body and mind. And body and mind is not you. Your body and mind is evolved into this state just for survival and reproduction. There is nothing else. So I, when you remove the I from the body and mind, that is when you get into the true happiness, the true flow of happiness. But unfortunately, we wanted to stay in the lower level, in the material world, in the material level of I. In that case, we say that I want this, I want to be treated like this, I want to be respected, I want to be loved, everything is I. We don't want anything for anybody else, everything I want, I. Can we just think away from this I and consider that why we are talking about this I? We are alienating ourselves from the nature. Why can't we consider, instead of saying I want, why can't we think that I want to give, not I want to get? See, there is a saying that you cannot give out whatever you don't have. Okay? So if you want to give something to somebody, definitely you should have that. So start thinking about giving. So start clubbing I with us. Don't alienate yourself to a corner and saying that this is what I want, this is what I need, this is what I. Stop there and consider as a whole. Basically, we are, if you keep our body and mind aside and go behind and see the proper true I, we know that we are part of the universe, at the same time we are the universe. It's like fractal geometry. I don't know if you heard about fractal geometry, it's part of chaos theory in the advanced physics. Fractal geometry says that the part is actually the whole and the whole is actually the part. It has been proven. There are a lot of computer stimulation has been done. It is proved that part is whole and whole is part. So if you consider you as separate being, then you're going against the nature, you're going against the chaos theory, you're going against the entire harmony of the universe. That is where the stress comes in. That is where the chaos comes in. That is where the disharmony and misalignment comes in. That in that misalignment there is no happiness. So if you consider I as part of everything, then there is no problem. To get out of your body and mind, to stay away from the selfish I, let us get into 3 steps. How can we do that? Step number 1 is expressing compassion. Be compassionate. You cannot be separate from others if you are compassionate. If you're compassionate, you're part of the group. You're part of the whole. So be compassionate to everything around you, not only another human being. Be compassionate to your animals, be compassionate to trees, water, earth, space, everything. Be compassionate for everything. That is one of the major steps to get out of this habit of being mind and body. So in that case, how do we express compassion? go to compassionate meditation. Compassionate meditation is one of the major tools to get into this habit of getting out of I. And second step, we can say the second step is that whenever we say I, think we. If you say I want this, or I am to be admired, I want to be respected, think we as a whole, because I am not separate from the other person. So if you think as a whole, then also you will be able to come out of this I. Another major tool to get out of the habit of being I, that habit of being mind and body, is that whenever you want to do something for your own pleasure or your own happiness, always consider the other. When I say other, it is not the other person. Of course, the first in the list is always another human being, a fellow human being. But when I say other, it is not just only the human being. It can be the trees, it can be the animals, it can be anything around you. So always consider the other whenever you want to do something for your own good or your own benefit or your own happiness. Because happiness cannot exist as an individual unit. Happiness flows actually, it flows all around. So you cannot just say that I am happy whereas the other person is unhappy. So whatever you want to do for your own happiness, your own pleasure or your own benefit, always make sure that the other is also getting the same benefit to a certain level. Okay, but never ever try to harm the other person for your own happiness. Then it is not happiness. Then it will never stay. The pleasure will never stay. It comes and goes, and it will take you to deeper and deeper, darker states actually. So practice this. Whenever you do something, think about the other. The other is actually you. There is no difference between you and the other. So if you want to be happy, the other has to be happy as well. It's a simple mathematical equation.